Hey everybody, how you doing? This is about to be a really fun video. So, recently, before deer season started, I started a video series on bullet droppages, just to make a simplified look at if you sight your rifle in at a certain distance, what is the holdover and the clicks on your scope at different distances. And tons of you guys have been requesting 30-30. I've been wanting to do 30-30, but I haven't been able to. Let me tell you why. Really, there's two reasons. So for one, this is my 30-30. Give you a close look at it here. Pretty cool, pretty cool, pretty cool. And this is, before I tell you wrong, this is a Winchester Model 94. I dated this one, and it came back, if I remember right, it's 1972. But here's the problem with these 94s. It's a top ejector, which means you can't put a scope on top. Now, there are people who have made, let me release the hammer there, buddy. There are people who have made like side saddles where your scope's off to the side and stuff like that. That thing just hasn't, that idea or concept hasn't floated my boat to where I want to spend the money to do that. And using the iron sights, it's just not a precision shot, okay? What, can you take a deer with it at 100 yards, 200 yards? Well, yeah, sure, probably. But can you get any type of great precision group? No. Not unless you practice like 1,000 times. Which leads us into reason number 2 why I haven't done a 30-30 bullet drop video yet. The bullets. Okay, so 2 years ago, 30-30 was cheap. It's the affordable ammo. You go to the ammo store, it was the cheapest stuff there in the rifle aisle. Like, cheap. That's just the way the things have been. You could get it 13 bucks, 15 bucks for a box of 20 at a store with, reasonable prices. Well, now you can't find 30-30 ammo, and when you do, it's $100 a box, so $5 every time you squeeze one off. So 2 reasons I haven't done that video yet. Mine is a 94 top ejector, so with iron sights, I just don't trust that to be good data to share with you guys and talk about drop when my groups at 100 yards and 200 yards will probably be all over the place and just wasting time. And number 2, I have almost no 30-30 ammo. But, thanks to my buddy Jeremy, we are bringing you a 30-30 bullet drop video today. He's let me borrow his Marlin. I really, really appreciate it, brother. You are awesome. Thanks again so much for letting me borrow your 30-30 for this video. Let me show you what we got here for this video. So, my buddy's let me borrow his Marlin, which, if I'm not mistaken, these are called a 336. I guess I could read it, huh? Yep. Marlin Model 336. Side ejectors, which means you can get a scope on the top, not ghettoing off to the side. Pretty cool. But I have a Marlin lever gun in 4570 and absolutely love it. So this is a treat. And again, I can't thank you enough, my friend Jeremy, for letting me borrow this. We are going to take this out to the range. He says it's already dead on. And we definitely don't want to waste a bunch of ammo. But he's given us some of this Winchester Super X. You guys are familiar with this, I'm sure. What are these? These are the 150 grain power points. Already dead on at 100. If it's off by a hair, we might make a couple quick scope adjustments, just because I know this is one of his hunting rifles that needs to be dead on. But we'll take a couple at 100. We'll come back to 50 yards, take a shot, see where it's at. Then I'll do my best to slow down at 200 and see what kind of a group and see what kind of a drop we're getting at 200 yards. And then we might do some math and show you the drop on paper, even out further than that. 30-30, it's not necessarily a 500-yard rifle, guys. I know a bunch of y'all probably saying, oh man, I take my deers at 700-800 yards with iron sights on my 30-30. I bet you do. You probably have. If I was trying that, it would be, we'd probably send 2 boxes trying to hit something that far. But on top, he's got one of these Bushnell bone collector scopes. It's a 3x9 by, that looks bigger than 40, but it's a 3-to-9 scope, and should be pretty cool. Let's head out to the range, see what happens. Take one at 100 yards first. About the same spot. All right, so at the range, I wasn't very impressed with that group with that Winchester ammo at 200 yards. So that 200-yard group with this stuff, I wasn't real impressed. And some of that might have been me, my trigger squeeze. So now I'm gonna try. I brought some of this with me. I had like half a box of this stuff sitting in the closet, 150 grainers too. Since it's the same bulot weight, the should be hitting close to the same point at 100, so I'm going to send 3 of these American Whitetails at 200 and just see if the rifle maybe likes this stuff better. But here's 3 shots of this stuff. All right, now I brought the targets back from our 30-30 time at the range. Let's check it out really quick. So, at 100 yards, normally when I do these videos, I do a 100-yard group. Since this is 100% one of his hunting rifles and we don't have a ton of ammo, I didn't do that, but I adjusted the scope just a smidges to make sure that we were on at 100. And I didn't want to burn up a ton of his ammo. So we had 1 shot high, adjusted it, 1 shot low, and then made a small adjustment. And this was our last one for our 100 yards. So that rifle is on at 100 yards. I didn't want to spend a whole bunch of ammo, like I said, trying to hit the bullseye. But we were high at 100, and then low at 100, and then in the middle at 100. Then after that, at 50 yards, took a shot. If you guys have been watching, generally speaking, actually across the board, if it's on at 100, at 50 yards, you can hold the same spot for deer hunting. And we kind of proved that here at the 50-yard mark. There's where we hit. And remember, I'm really taking my time here. This is not mine. This is my buddy's deer hunting rifle. So we want to make sure we're doing the right thing. And that sucker's on. So same thing with his 30-30. It's on at 100. At 50 yards, you can hold the same spot on a deer, hitting right there. Now at 200, this is where it got interesting, guys. I'm not going to prolong it with a long story. Let's just show you the facts on what happened. So, like I said, don't have a ton of 30-30 ammo, and he had given me some of his Winchester Super X, and I definitely didn't want to waste it. Stuff's hard to find. I went back and watched the footage and marked the hits. So, with that Winchester Super X, this is our group at 200 yards. We had a hit here. We had a hit here. These are the red marks, and then a hit here. That's about a 10-inch group at 200 yards, and that's holding here. So the drop is about, if you take the average of those three, the average is probably near that one. That's about a 8 or 9 inch drop with a 100 yard zero, 8 or 9 inch drop at 200 yards, and not a fantastic group. That wide of a group, that could be the difference of you getting a deer and taking it home in the back of your truck, or it surviving and you don't see it again. And that's what the scope, guys. So I was talking about iron sights at the beginning of the video. If I was using iron sights, that group would probably, I might have missed this whole paper. I don't know. But then I had brought along some of this ammo and tried it out, and I'm going to give you the rest of this box, Jeremy. There's not a ton in here, but I'm going to give this to you. If anything, just to replace your ammo that I shot up. And this one, that's 2 shots, and that's 1 shot. So I had 2 in the same hole at 200 yards with that Marlin 30-30 and this Hornady American Whitetail. So I'm going to give him the rest of that box, because that rifle likes that ammo a lot better, and that stuff is hard to find. But, again, 2 in the same hole at 200 yards, and then 1 right here. That group is much better than that group. That's about a 2.5 inch group at 200 yards, so that's almost sub-MOA with the 30-30, which is pretty incredible in my book. 30-30 is not held in high regard from a precision standpoint. The drop is a little bit more, so the average drop on those is, my goodness, 15, 16 inches, maybe a little bit more. So Winchester has a little bit more sauce on it, but what good is the sauce if it's kind of all over the place? I don't know. But there's our drop at 200 yards. Really is ammo dependent, but the average drop with all of those is probably about 15 inches, which is kind of crazy. So there is our Bulot drop video with the 30-30. Now, since you guys are going to ask, let me do a drop chart really quick out to 1,000 yards. It's going to be ridiculous. 30-30 isn't meant to be flinging them way out there, even though I know some of y'all do. Let me show you that here real quick. Alright guys, so here's the drop chart for the 30-30. The best data I could find says that stuff has a BC of 0.218 on the G1 scale and speeds just a shade under 2,400 feet per second. And if you look at the chart, zeroed at 100, it says the drop should be a little over 7 inches. That might be pretty close to what we saw. I should have grabbed that tape measure to get the exact average drop on our test, but I didn't. So this is saying 7-inch drop at 200 yards with a 100 yard zero. So that pretty much means your hold at 200 should be over the deer's back, if that's the way that you're doing it. Also at 200 yards, if you have an MOA scope, 3.5 MOA or 1 mil if you're dialing scopes. Look down to 300. So you'd be holding 27 inches above where you want to hit. Then you can see the MOA and mil dials. 400 yards, 66 inches above where you want that hit. And then you can see after that it really starts dropping all the way out to 1,000. It's dropping 1,100 inches, and you'd be dialing 30 mils. That might be fun sometime to sling them at 1,000. We could get a rig where we could dial 30 mils and make it happen. So if we find some a pallet of 30-30 somewhere and we can get 100 rounds, 200 rounds to go try that. I think that'd be really fun to go try 30-30 at 1,000. I think we could do it. It's also worth looking at the energy there. So at 100 yards, 1339 foot-pounds, but then look at how quickly it drops off. At 300, it's down to 624 foot-pounds. But there's your drop chart for the 30-30. But appreciate you guys watching. This video probably ended up being longer than I meant it for it to be. But hey, it's all good information. I know tons of you guys have 30-30s. Let me know in the comments down below, what 30-30 do you have? Do you run a scope on it? And what ammo runs good in your 30-30? So this is the absolute first time I've ever had the opportunity to go to the range with the 30-30 with a scope on it. And it was awesome. If you guys want, I'm going to keep searching for 30-30 ammo. And maybe we'll do this same thing just for fun with irons. I think it'd be a lot of fun. So we might have a part 2 iron sight episode if I can find some more ammo. That stuff's hard to find. And like I said, when you do find it, it's expensive. But there's the Marlin 336. I absolutely dig it. And again, appreciate you, Mr. Jeremy. You helped us out big time with this. And I hope you smoke some deers with that thing. But yeah, dead on at 100, also dead on at 50. But appreciate y'all watching. If you haven't seen some of the other videos, we've already done a whole bunch of different cartridges in this video series. 30-06, 270, 243, and a bunch more. So go check out that playlist. Appreciate y'all big time. Best viewers ever on the interwebs. Comment down below. Check out all the links down below. There's a bunch of deals and stuff down there. We'll see you on the next one. Woo-hoo.